Hey, good morning. I'm Pastor Joe Fox. I'm up in Kansas, and recently, very recently, a judge in Kansas ruled that homosexual marriage is okay for a big chunk of Kansas. And in the last couple days, several homosexual couples have gotten married by clerks of the court and so on. And it's very controversial, and there are many people up in arms about this, and the talk shows, the local talk shows are just all abuzz with people calling in. And they're presumably Christians, right? And they're saying homosexuality is a sin. I don't care how you do it, it's wrong. And tomorrow, Sunday, all throughout this area, there will be preachers pounding on pulpits saying, homosexuality is an abomination before God. They will be, right? And they'll be rallying up the people, and the people all be nodding their head and going, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so to my Christian viewers, let's talk about that a little bit. Homosexuality is an abomination before God, right? It is abominable. You can read that in where? Leviticus 18:22, right? It says men should not lay with men like you lay with women. That's an abomination. And so that's true. Well, does that make it a sin? What's a sin? 1 John 3:4 says sin is transgression of the law. Sin is transgression of Torah. Leviticus is Torah. And so when you go to 18:22 and it says man shall not lay with man as he does with a woman, that's an abomination. It is in fact an abomination, and it is in fact a sin. And so we agree with each other there. It's sinful to do so. But yet many of these same Christians are going to wake up tomorrow and they're going to make themselves bacon, right? And then they're going to go out to eat lunch, as y'all are wont to do. Many will go to Red Lobster, right? And you'll have some lobster, some shrimps, or you'll get some crayfish if you're living down deep south, or maybe some catfish. And wow, if you go to Leviticus 11, all that kind of fish without scales and fins, all that stuff in the water, you know what that is? An abomination before God. And it's also a sin to eat pork, right? And so it's like, so you're all up in arms about homosexuality while you're stuffing this abominable stuff in your mouth. And then, if you go deeper with many Christians and you'll say, hey, you're not supposed to eat this stuff, they'll say, oh, that's the law, that's the old law. That was all nailed to the cross with Yeshua, with Jesus. They'll say Jesus. That was nailed to the cross. Well, then was homosexuality nailed to the cross? If the law was nailed to the cross, was adultery, making that a sin, was that nailed to the cross? You can't have it both ways. You can't. It's either an abomination and a sin, or that was nailed to the cross. What are you going to pick? What I want you to do is go back and rethink why you think you don't have to follow Torah because you have Jesus. We're set free in Christ. Free to sin? What's sin? We're saved by grace, right? Should we sin so that we can have more grace? Yah forbid. I'll see you out there.